On this week's WHS Sports Show, there's almost nothing different.
What he means by that is we'll discuss scores from last week and give you the schedule for the week ahead.
What he said.
Monday Rocks Athletics started off with the boys tennis team sweeping Harrison and girls soccer tying Cathedral 1-1. Volleyball lost to Carmel at home 3-1.
The following day, the boys on the court followed up their Monday sweep with another sweep, this time defeating Lawrence North. The bad part about Tuesday was that boys soccer lost at HSE 2-1.
Wednesday, girls soccer got themselves a win via Tammy Shallett, who scored the one and only goal. Volleyball got swept at HSE also.
Thursday, boys soccer lost to Carmel 3-0 at home, and boys tennis went 2-3 at conference.
Friday was... yikes.
Do we want to talk about what happened, or...?
I feel like something needs to be said, but I don't really know what can be said.
Well, let's start with this. Yes, the elephant in the room is that we lost on homecoming, but Kendall Garnett had 3 touchdowns, and besides that, not really much you can say. We beat ourselves, great game, just didn't go our way.
Now Saturday, girls soccer tied Rebuff 1-1, plus boys and girls cross-country teams finished 6th and 9th respectively at the Riverview Invite.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We think this whole giving you the schedule thing is getting boring, so we're going to give you guys the schedule and make our predictions for every team this week. Sound good? Good. First off, we have girls soccer. They're away at Pendleton Heights Monday and away at Brownsburg Wednesday. I'll say they sweep the week and win both games. How about you, partner?
I say Our Lady Rocks will definitely get both tasks done this week.
Now their male counterpart, the guys soccer team, they play at home against Brownsburg on Monday, away at Harrison Thursday, and home against Plainfield on Saturday.
Draw Plainfield and beat Harrison, but they could definitely pull out all 3 wins this week. It could go either way.
I'll say they go 1-2 because they played some tough opponents in Brownsburg and Plainfield, but I think they'll get it done against Harrison.
Alrighty then, how about volleyball?
Well, they're home on Thursday versus Brownsburg, so go watch them play at a tournament on Saturday in Yorktown. I'll say they do well in the tournament, but they'll lose to Brownsburg.
I say they lose to Brownsburg and then go undefeated or maybe just lose 1 game in the tourney.
For girls golf, it's a given that Sam Brown will go to state, so I'll say she makes it out of sectionals comfortably.
Yeah, there should be no trouble for Sam in sectionals. Move her on.
Boys tennis. Although conference was Saturday, I think they'll manage a win versus Mount Vernon on Thursday that will propel them to a great sectional run.
I also think they take the W against Mount Vernon as well.
This football game will be the most important one yet. The best team in the state, obviously us, will face off against Brownsburg in a football game you'll want to see. Want our predictions for this game? Hop on over to the Shamrock Sports Cast where Aiden, Sam Mefford, and I give our predictions and in-depth opinion on all things Westfield sports.
We'll even leave a link in the description so you can't miss it.
Thanks to A-Strike, our wonderful teacher, we have been blessed with the ability to talk sports outside of Westfield. So which level of football do you want to talk about first, Aiden, college or NFL?
Let's go with college.
All right, first off, Charlie Jones and Aiden O'Connell couldn't have done more for the Boilers as they took their 2nd loss on the year to Syracuse. Notre Dame barely scraped together a win versus California, and that's about all for the teams that played in Indiana.
Now on a national level, let's talk about Oregon and BYU. BYU came out of the tunnel honoring a late Oregon football player with an Oregon flag, which shows how great the respect in college football really is. Oregon was victorious in their upset win over BYU, 41-20.
Another game I want to touch on is Washington versus Michigan State. Michigan State came into this game a 20-point favorite, but Jalen Polk and the Huskies were not going to let that slide. Tallying 6 receptions for 159 yards and 3 touchdowns, the Husky pulled out an upset win over the Spartans, 39-28.
Our game of the week went to Purdue versus Syracuse. If you were watching in the first 3 quarters, you would say to yourself, why am I still watching this? Well, you're not alone in thinking that. Through 3 quarters, the score was 10-9 in favor of Syracuse, then this happened.
42 points in the final 15 minutes, absolute madness. Despite only having 306 total yards compared to Purdue's 486, the Orange rallied and won a thriller, 32-29. The average time of possession in the 4th quarter was 1 minute and 23 seconds. Absolutely insane.
All right, let's talk some National Football League. What did you like and what didn't you like from NFL Week 2?
I made a list of teams that are good and teams that are in trouble. My teams that you don't have to worry about include, but are not limited to, the Chiefs, Dolphins, Bucks, Rams, Cardinals, Broncos. The teams that you should be worrying about are the Colts, which I'm sad that it's come to this point. The Bengals, Saints, Bears, Browns, Steelers, Panthers, just to name a few, Aiden. What do you think went wrong in the Colts game?
Just the inability to move the chains. I feel like the first quarter and a little bit of the second quarter, they were able to do so, getting the ball in the red zone a few times, but obviously those interceptions and those turnovers really lost lost the Colts this game, and then going into the second half, they really never found a groove, and that's why Jacksonville came out on top in this one.
Yeah, they didn't feed Jonathan Taylor enough, and I'm not just saying that because he's on my fantasy team. I'm saying that because he's really a key part to their success. The absence of key players like Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce really hurt them, and oh yeah, they haven't won in Jacksonville in 8 years. If they can get fully healthy, they can win games. Step up and make plays, guys.
Our NFL game of the week was Raiders and Cardinals. The Raiders players and their fans thought they had it in the bag in the third quarter, but Kyler Murray and his afro came back to life in the fourth quarter, forced overtime, and won off a fumble recovery taken to the house.
That was an old-fashioned West Coast slugfest. Ugly football, but great to watch.
Is that it?
That's all from us. Stay breezy and go Rocks.